a bit
the biggest power station built in Australia. Is there a reason you're here, not there?
Well, obviously, it's good. I spoke to the Prime Minister this morning. It shows that we are focused on renewables. We're focused on storage, and we are doing it in different parts of the country at the same time. The Prime Minister and I worked very closely together yesterday with my other colleagues, Matt Canavan and Arthur Sinodinos, on this important agreement against Post.
Premier, do you find this a bit galling?
Yes, I mean it shows that the Commonwealth Government are in a white-knuckled panic about national energy policy. I mean, it's a $2 billion admission that the national energy market is broken, and there needs to be public investments to actually fix it up. And that's exactly what it was at the heart of our plan. We're not going to wait 4 to 7 years, though, to invest in some snowy hydro scheme. We're investing here so that South Australia can become self-sufficient. I've got to say, it is a little galling to be standing here next to a man that's been standing up with his Prime Minister, bagging South Australia at every step of the way over the last 6 months, to be standing here on this occasion, him suggesting that we want to work together. It is a disgrace the way in which your government has treated our state. It is the most anti-South Australian government we have seen from a Commonwealth government in living memory. What we have is a national energy market that is broken. We had a Prime Minister that came in here to this state during the course of the last federal election campaign, celebrating our leadership in relation to renewable energy, and then taking credit for it through his own renewable energy target. And for you to then turn around within a few short months when there's a blackout and point the finger at South Australia for the fact that our leadership in renewable energy was the cause of that problem is an absolute disgrace. And you'd be standing here, sitting next to us, trying to take credit for some small scheme which goes nowhere near fixing the size and the extent of the problems that have been created in this state is an outrage. This is a plan which is about making us self-sufficient in this country. Let's just think about this $2 billion investment. It is going to be in 4 to 7 years' time. It'll probably only just pick up the natural growth in demand that will occur over that period of time. It barely will pick up the loss of power generation in relation to Hazelwood. What we've seen over the last few years in this country is about 5,000 megawatts of loss of installed generation capacity. And the reason we've lost that installed generation capacity is because of a lack of a coherent national energy policy. And the coherent national energy policy that almost every commentator is calling for is a price on carbon. Now, the Minister has just told you that we should await the outcome of the Finkel inquiry. Mr Finkel, in his preliminary report, recommended that an emissions intensity scheme was the cheapest and most effective way of sending the right price signals into the market to make sure that we get that new investment in generation in this country. And then Mr Frydenberg, who went out and actually promoted the emissions intensity scheme, was within a couple of hours cut down by his Prime Minister, and that was ruled out of Mr Finkel's review. So the first best solution that Mr Finkel was recommending and would otherwise have been in his review has been already ruled out by this federal government. So for the Minister to stand here and suggest that we should await the outcome of an inquiry that he has already nobbled is, to say the least, galling. Now, we know what Mr Frydenberg really thinks, and that is that he believes in an emissions intensity scheme. That's why he went out and publicly advocated for it. It must have been a source of humiliation for him to be cut down by his Prime Minister within hours of publicly supporting that scheme. Now, when the Prime Minister and the Minister recover their courage and decide to advocate for something that they know is the right policy solution, we will be supportive of it. Now, the truth is that they know what the right thing is, we know what the right thing is, and when they recover their memory about what the right thing to do is, we'll be there ready to support them. Minister. So while I hadn't finished, while this is a positive occasion here today, and I'm sad I had to break in on it and say this, it's the first occasion I've had the opportunity of standing next to Mr Frydenberg. I'm sick and tired of getting these criticisms across the airwaves from the eastern states about South Australia. We can't wait for a Snowy Mountain scheme in 4 to 7 years' time. We have a plan to make South Australia self-sufficient, to stand on our own 2 feet today, and that's what we're getting on with.